All right, so being it's Black History Month.
Yes.
By the way, let me intro the show. This is the Let's Unpack That podcast. I'm your host, Lyall Behrens. We got Matt Duckett here.
Hello.
We got Ralph, shout out Vibe Magazine. We got Brandon, shout out the Crips. We in here. So
Dookie Williams.
So I want to start off with this.
Yes.
Green rooms.
Yeah.
Comedy green rooms. Have you ever been in a green room where you just like fuck this energy and then you just watch the show outside?
I would say at least like half of the shows. It's just one of those things. You truly do not have to waste your time because there is something else going on immediately outside. But yeah, there's plenty of times where it's just like, all right, do I really want to sit and have this conversation right now?
I mean, yeah, I don't like it when it's too much loud white boy come town energy.
Yeah.
In the room, and it's just like there's a guy that's just kind of like announcing everything, and he's just trying so hard to hold court.
Right. Yeah.
It's like there's no bitches in here. Why are you doing all this? So I'm in the green room. By the way, this is very important. Black people got to be careful who you coon with. You, and what I mean by that is you got to be careful. Like, if you're going to talk, like, as a black person, if you're going to talk shit about niggas to white people, you got to make sure there's some white people that you can, you know, like, it should be somebody that you fucking, like, I don't want to go to that Vons. All them niggas in there. Like, it's got to be.
Yeah.
By the way, have you had like certain Vons or Safeways where you're like, nah, this is the ghetto Vons. I'm not going to this.
Oh, yeah. There was an Albertsons near my college. It was like, yeah, don't go to that Albertsons. It's like in Santa Barbara. It's like, it's a fine Albertsons. But it's like, no. The Vons across the street is far superior. I mean, and in LA, everyone's competing for Trader Joe's superiority. That's a bad feeling when you realize you go to a whack-ass Trader Joe's.
What is a whack-ass Trader Joe's?
It's about the snacks, mainly. Snacks and coconut milk. If you walk into a Trader Joe's and they don't have coconut milk, you're in a bum-ass Trader Joe's, dude. You're in a bum-ass Trader Joe's.
So I'm in the green room, and I'm not going to say names because I'm not going to snitch on comics. But dude, he's talking. He's like, yeah, like me. And he said the black comedian's name, and he said, like, we send each other these flyers and like just of like the most like fucking ghetto names. It's like these black comics, dude, they have like the dumbest names. It'll be like T Money Funny, fucking, I don't know, help me out, Matt. You do the urban circuit.
Well, it's always blank the comedian blank.
Yeah.
That like, much we surmised from you being on the flyer.
Ty the comedian, and like they have like these big boom boxes on the corner. And it's like it's just so fucking retarded, man. It's fucking stupid. Like, just say your name. And then he was saying to me, the reason that black comedians do that is because they have warrants. And I'm like, that is the dumbest shit I've ever fucking heard.
That was clearly that black comic being like, this is my white friend that I'm going to fuck with. And like tell incorrect black information to. Like, oh yeah, we do this because of oh, did you know that like moonwalking was invented in the plantations of Virginia because of it's just, yeah, that was clearly his designated white bullshit fact friend.
Moonwalking was in the plan. That was a way to say that we're about to escape that night.
Yeah.
It was like
walking out, follow the North Star.
So
Billie Jean was a slave song.
Black History Month, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, so that was, but then I'm like, but then he's saying that to me, and then I was like, one, like, that's dumb as hell. You don't know what the fuck you talking about.
Yeah.
And I was like, would you, like, and he's like, I don't think it's wrong at all. Like it's stupid. Like, why don't they just say your name? And I was like, nigga, is Jamie Foxx a good comedian? He's like, that's not his real name. I'm like, is he a good comedian? Is that his real name? Because you know what? He was being like a little bitch. And I said, his real name is Eric Bishop, nigga. What the fuck is you talking about? He's like, okay, but that still sounds like a real name, though. And then later,
there's also 5 X's at the end of it.
Right? It's like, it could be a porn star name.
Yeah, and it's also, I mean, maybe not the first, but it's also like a lineage thing, like Red Fox. It's a stage name.
Yeah.
You know?
So I said to him, I was like, okay, would you go to a black ass comedy show, get on stage, and be like, "You niggas got dumb fucking names. You over here calling yourself Matt Richardson, the Joker. Your name is Mark Richardson, nigga. Yo, you sound dumb as hell. If you would say that to their face and make they black ass laugh, then cool. By all means, he's like, I see your point. And I was like, yeah, I did it for the culture. I feel very proud of myself.
I like how in that hypothetical that the Joker person went from Mark to Matt, which is so much whiter of a name as a Matt. It really is. It really is. It really is a whack ass white name. But yeah. I mean, and yeah, that's the thing. It's, you know, our industry is predominantly annoying white guys.
Yeah, that's what's so different. Because it's like, on one hand, it's like black comics, like we like the funniest, and it's like at the top of the food chain, it's black. But like on the day-to-day level, I'm like, I really am around like a lot of white boys that don't have social skills.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, this is their outlet. Podcasts and stand-up.
Which we both do.
Yeah, I mean, we're doing some reverse cultural appropriation, which again, Black History Month is appropriate.
I remember, like, I was trying to get the homie Trav to be on the pod. I was trying to get him to come through. And he's like, man, podcasting some white shit. And then I was like, nigga, how we gonna let white people have talking?
Must they have everything? Come on.
Oh, but if we had a bunch of barbershop chairs in here, then it'd be different. That's like, look,
where's my taper fade?
I ain't gonna lie, like I would want to be on the shop, but the thing that makes me laugh at the shop is it is kind of like LeBron patting himself on the back.
Oh
for
yeah,
social awareness. Like, you know, coming from the inner city, you know, and like, and he's like,
LeBron is hilarious because he's like, he's just smart enough where you don't go, God, just stop, dude. But like, isn't like, he's not Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
No.
So it's like, some of it, I guess, just feels weird or like performative.
What Kareem Abdul-Jabbar seems like he really likes museums.
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, the guy double majored while winning like 3 straight national championships.
Yeah.
Like I just likes knowing things.
Whereas Bron, it seems like, all right, niggas is reading now. Now I gotta.
Yeah.
Did you see this thing? It was like, I was just like, why would y'all ask this nigga that? It was a thing. He was like reading Malcolm X on the way to the game in the bubble, and they're like, so, you know, what did you take from the book? And he's like, he's a great man. It's so many lessons. It's hard to just like point at one thing. And I'm like, why are you asking this nigga to give you a book report? Like,
right. LeBron answers questions about the books he reads in the same way that Donald Trump does.
It's a wonderful book.
It was very great. He's a wonderful man. Frederick Douglass is always
who's still with us.
The same workaround. Someone put a photo on Twitter of, it's like every photo of LeBron James reading a book in the locker room, but he's always on page 1. He does the rest of the book club reading when the cameras are not around.
I mean, that's clearly like I mean, like in his mind, he's like, yeah, kids are going to see reading school,
right.
But it's like, because also like when you walking through the tunnel, I mean, how much of a book can you really be reading on the way? Like,
yeah, he's a busy guy. He's got. Listen, if there's anyone who I'm going to give an excuse for only reading half of the Malcolm X autobiography, it's LeBron James.
I mean, look, if I was 6'8" and had $1 billion, like, do I really need to know what Malcolm X said?
Yeah, there's a guy. I can pay a guy to tell me what he said. I
like
have
bedtime stories.
Yeah, I I can pay a Black Studies professor from Berkeley to come to my house.
You could have your boy Michael Eric Dyson. You know Michael Eric Dyson?
No.
He's high yellow like you. He has hair similar to yours.
Okay.
But he's one of them brothers where like he kind of raps when he talks.
Okay.
Like he's like, when Tupac said, "The rose that grew from concrete, the hate you give little infants fucks everybody."
Right.
Thug life was not just like, you don't talk regular.
Are you saying that this man is a pudding head?
Yes. I was.
Okay.
Michael Eric Dyson is a noble pudding.
Yeah, there's levels to it.
Yeah,
There's levels to it.
there's
That's
levels of being a pudding.
shout out to the OG listeners on that one.
And for those people, for the people that don't remember, Puddinhead is when I was talking to Matt and I was like, my mom had this one black friend and she was like, light skin, has straight hair, but she wanted to let everybody know that she's black. So, because like you've heard a lot of racist shit.
Yeah.
Because people didn't know you was a Negro.
Yep.
So she'd be like, girl, and then I had to do this, and she talked just like this, and it was so fucking funny. And I see in a room full of like black people that are obviously darker than her, and they just feel like, okay, all right.
Yep.
We don't need that much hot sauce right now.
Put it back in the purse, Hillary. Oh man.
So speaking of people fucking up,
Oh yeah. Let's get into it.
Joe Rogan, let's go off.
Hey buddy.
So Joe Rogan, I'm not gonna act like we're the news. Like, you probably already know
everyone.
what happened.
If you're listening to a podcast, you know who Joe Rogan is.
Yeah, you know what the fuck happened. So recently, and then Neil Young, we're not doing all that. I'm just going to assume you, because if you listen to this, I'm going to assume you know some shit.
So, Brother Lyall, what are your thoughts on the recent events? It's like we can just get it. We can just say what we want to say about the fucking guy. You go first. What are your reflections?
Well, one, I think, first off, do you see the way he, go back to Brown, the way he had the books behind him and shit when he apologized?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, you know, he's probably been in that room like 3 times.
Yeah.
Like, he's
In 12,000 square foot house.
Yeah, like I don't want to say like I don't think Joe Rogan but I think Joe Rogan and LeBron probably read about the same.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I'm saying like if you got like that much money, like how much reading do you really need to do?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, it's like he's a guy that because like if we're gonna be honest, like it should have been some protein powder, an elk hoof, and a samurai sword in the background.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
It should not like, Rogan, we don't believe this.
Yeah, boxing glove from the set of Rocky 3.
Right? So no, but so like what I got from that was some white boy shit. Like when he was saying the thing, because like with the whole nigger. And like he stretches it out too, which just makes it even more like,
right.
Oh, you're really comfortable with saying it, you know?
Right.
And the thing though was for me, the thing that felt most racist was the Planet of the Apes thing. When he was like, and like that shit was, and notice how Joey like was not laughing and moved out the frame.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, I mean, like, you know, to me, it's just like, he's just a reflection of the environment that was allowed and honestly fostered and protected in comedy circles over the past 30 years. It's like, white dudes basically get away with murder. I mean, think back historically about how many white comics there are that have a joke where it's just them trying to get away with saying the N-word.
A lot.
It's a lot. So then you just put you put people who are in that environment constantly making it an attempt to say it, and then they think that, well, I'm in my own house, I'm in my own studio or whatever. Yeah, they're gonna drop some dumb shit and they're gonna say that stuff. It's not surprising to me. I guess what I'm trying to say. It's like, yeah, I've been in these rooms and I've been in these environments my entire stand-up career. So it's like it doesn't bother me, but the only reason why it doesn't is because I expect
we're around it a lot too. Like we hear a lot of like fucked up shit, and sometimes we choose to say something in the green room, and sometimes we go like, "He a white boy," and we just keep it pushing,
Yep.
But
yeah, it's like at some point there's a line that gets crossed. It's like, all right, you need to shut the fuck up, or I'm gonna punch you in the fucking face. But it's like, yeah, it's like some dude on a podcast that I don't listen to dropping N-bombs is just like not gonna, it just doesn't bother me that much. Cool for Spotify for getting rid of the episodes, like sure. But it's like, if it wasn't brought to his attention, Joe Rogan knows that he's said that word loosely a gajillion times, so he wouldn't have apologized for it had Spotify not been like, you fucking our money up. You know? So it's like, I don't give a shit.
Fucking up the bag.
I don't give a shit about what he said. I don't give a shit about the apology, because it's like, I I can already surmise who this dude is just being in comedy for as long as they have.
I mean, he's an Italian white man that lives in Texas. Of course, he says nigga. Like,
yeah, like what are we?
Yeah, but I mean, this is like a thing.
It's Trump winning all over again. It's like, why are we surprised? Why?
I mean, shocked? Okay, but then to why are we surprised? Like, why are we surprised? And which doesn't mean like people shouldn't get offended or write their little long social media post about it. But my thing is, at what point are we gonna go? Is people in the world to talk like that? Like, because I feel like there's this thing where, and I don't want to be like, it's cancel culture. It's a problem. I don't want to do that. But I'm saying it's like, at a certain point, it's like, look, he a white boy. That's how white boys talk. Because like the thing that I kind of fear is like some of the shit that I say, like, and I say all types of wild shit. Like you easily can make a nigga compilation out of this shit. Right? This with me alone. And if you want to go, these bitches, like you can do that with me. And I'm like, shouldn't there still be safe spaces where we can talk reckless and talk, And I don't want to turn this into the comedian thing where you start going like, yeah, free speech. But I'm just saying it's like, comedian or not, like, shouldn't there be, like in barbershops, we hear a lot of anti-Semitic shit. We get into Whoopie Goldberg later. We hear a lot of sexist shit, a lot of homophobic shit. But we know they don't hate these people, some of these barbers, you know. But if they like, they'll say like, ain't nothing wrong with being gay, but and then they say whatever 1970s shit comes out of them.
A lot, not even 1970s, 2005 when John Amici coming out while he's in the NBA, and the entire league just said it's fine, but.
Do you think we'll ever have like a ballin' ass openly gay basketball player?
It's coming.
I feel like it'll be funny, especially if he has like really good handles. And I'm just thinking the memes of like,
oh yeah, the ball handling and all that. How good his stroke is. Yeah. No, the memes will be elite. I think it's
that
coming.
Nigga loves boxing out.
Oh God. Yeah, it's coming for sure. I think because there's an openly gay dude in the NFL now. Is it Carl Nassib? I think his name is. I can't remember. But yeah, we're gonna have some openly gay dudes in the NBA pretty soon here.
If Kyrie Irving was gay, like that would be fucking great.
It would be interesting.
No, I mean, think about it. He's like
a gay flat earther anti-vaxxer is really a conflict of interest.
Yeah, because then it fuck everybody up. That's kind of like why. I just like to see shit like that. Like, oh, what y'all gonna do now?
Right, yeah.
Because like he's a
Whose
Hotep.
side are you on?
He's like a Hotep, and like first off, if you believe in the vaccine, you cannot be a Hotep. That's number one.
Right.
You gonna take the white man's jab?
Have you heard of a little thing called the Tuskegee experiment, brother?
This is global. So
this is gonna we gotta stop because this is gonna descend into us doing Hotep voice.
But it's so fucking fun to do Hotep voice.
It really is. It really is the best. It really is the best problematic black man. It is the Hotep.
Well, the reason it's so fun to do the Hotep voice is because it's like, one, you kind of get to rap, but you don't have to rhyme. So that's fun. Like, niggas love rapping. Number two is like you just question everything and don't trust it, and then you say, "But that's what they don't tell you." Like,
yeah,
they don't want you to know that. Bay Area Hoteps are the fucking funniest.
You wearing Air Jordans, my brother? Have you ever seen the air? Much like, have you ever seen the white man give the brother anything in this world that he didn't have to fight for?
You should be wearing Birdman lugs or Big Baller brand. It's black owned.
I have 400 pairs of Starberries in my closet. $15 of the white man's money. Oh man. So Whoopi Goldberg.
We just getting out of Joe Rogan's asshole right now.
I think we made our
All
point.
right,
It's
all
just
right.
like, I mean, you know, it's a bigger deal to other people. We're comics, so it's like, yeah, what else would you expect from the guy? You know?
Okay, wait. Here's what I do want to say about. No, go ahead.
Here's the question, though.
Yeah.
With all of this known to the public now, that things that maybe were like inside baseball for us and were already presumed, would you go on his podcast?
Fuck yes.
Yeah. Same.
Yeah, like I have a career. I'm trying to like, fucking. I have a career that's on life support after fucking COVID. Like I need. Of course, I go on Rogan. Okay, so
I have enough white female fans that it might be a problem, but yeah, I'd still do it.
Yeah. Lie Hive is like just niggas and Mexicans and out of pocket white boys.
There you go.
Like, I think like, do you think it's fair to say like we have some Rogan fans?
Oh sure. Yeah. There's crossover.
Yeah, and I'm like, you know, like sometimes you just want to hear a guy not give a fuck when he speaks.
Yeah.
Okay, but so to what I was going to say with the Rogan thing is like, what do you think about black comics? And we've seen this with Joe Rogan. We saw this when Kill Tony had his thing where he said the CH word. Notice I'm not going to say it, even though in private I'd say it. Can we edit that out in post?
Does that fit?
Brandon and Ralph are like, nigga, it's a black podcast studio. You know we don't believe them. We're not editing anything. And then like Ralph would be like, no, it's more organic like that. It's like you niggas just don't know how to use Final Cut. Anyways.
Does that word fit in Wordle?
No, but so what I was gonna say is black comics like or black entertainers when they have a white homie that has put them on some shit, you know, where they've amassed, you know, 10, 20,000 followers on Twitter, IG, all that, and it's helped their career. And they're like, and they either stay silent or they just go, look, he ain't mean it like that.
Right. Yeah, that's the dilemma, I guess.
Like, okay, let's say you had done Rogan. Because I remember James Davis. It was a thing when there was this one white female comedian and she did a joke about when XXXTentacion got killed. And she basically, the premise of the joke was, oh, yeah, like somebody should have told him about Venmo. And like that was like the joke. And then James Davis was like, nah, that's fucked up. Because when XX died, you did have a lot of white people. Like you had the kind of, with the Kobe thing, like, well, he was a woman abuser and fucked up and all this stuff. And then people were like, hey, that's still a black man's life, though. And you just like pissing on his neck and.
Yeah, I got in trouble because I called him XX Tough Actin to Nactin. Boom.
It is some moments where I do feel like we just need to bring in a Hotep for like 5 minutes.
We do need
to balance it out.
Yeah, we need a Hotep segment. Yeah, I know. I feel that. I think. Yeah, I don't know. Like,
but then he was basically like he was like, that wasn't right. But you know, Comedy Central, we family, and I was like, oh, I bet they family to you, nigga. Mm-hmm. Like that.
Yeah, it's one of those things. I feel like if I was put in in that position, it's one of those things. Like, yeah, it's just fucked up, but like, you know, white dudes are gonna be white dudes. Like, again, it's what I'm saying now. It's like, are we surprised? Or it's like, I'm not surprised, and like, you know, there's people have good and bad qualities, and you have to kind of just take it up for yourself of like, you know, is that ratio acceptable enough for you to fuck with somebody? And it's like, you know, it's like, I've got plenty of white friends that try to like you know, toe the line or whatever, and it's like, all right, it's like, keep it cool with that shit, but it's like they're good enough people and fun enough to hang out with. It's like, yeah, it's like all right, I can like, I'm willing to push back when I need to push back and still hang out with these folks. And
you'll compromise some racism.
Yeah, I think everybody does. I don't think I'm alone in that. You know, and I think and I also will fully acknowledge that it's different for me looking the way that I do.
Yeah.
The line might be different for me. But yeah, I think if you're a black person out there who thinks that every white person that you consider a friend hasn't dropped an N-bomb,
oh yeah,
you're dead wrong, because you know, just having Trojan horse that shit for 27 years, The white people are saying it.
It's funny is white comedians with N-word bits.
Ruth Bader Ginsburg has said the N-word.
Oh, yeah. It's funny with white comics and like the N-word bits, like all of them, they're like, no, but mine is different. Like I said, they're kind of like black women, like, well, you haven't had my peach cobbler. Like they're like, no, my N-word bit is different. Okay, no, because my grandma says it. All right,
I put coriander in my N-word bit. Peach cobbler. Why is that the perfect dessert?
It's a Coon treat, man.
It really is. It really is. My mom was. I was talking to my mom, and I brought up sweet potato pie, and she's like, "What pie? You're so damn white, woman. You've never heard of a fucking sweet potato pie."
But I mean, you got to put some of that on your dad, though. You know, like, how you not introducing her to sweet potato pie? Like, you just cool, like, I don't know, like,
yeah, true. No, that's facts for sure. It's like, how the fuck? Especially because my mom like cooked. You know, she wasn't fucking frying up grits or anything like that. But like,
you seem like you came up in like a casserole household.
No casseroles.
Okay,
no, it was steak, potatoes.
Okay,
it was
that's why you came out big and strong, nigga.
That's exactly right. That's what got me the height. Yeah, very very Irish Catholic. Dinner table.
Meat, potatoes. Did you have the thing? Because I had this when I had like white babysitters that we met through the church in Long Beach, and it was a white family. The last name was Johnson, and they would have like designated like meal nights. So like they'd be like, well, Monday's McDonald's, Tuesday spaghettis, and it was like black families just like, what's in the fridge? And it was like,
yeah. There was. We never like went by like a hard schedule, but it was like there had to be like a meatloaf in there like at least like once every 2 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah. You ever meet a white person with the last name Freeman? That's always weird.
No, I haven't.
I've known one. I had an AU coach whose last name was Freeman, and I was like, what the fuck? He was like a 5'2" like Jewish guy, and I was like, this is weird.
I noticed like with Cooper, it's either like a white first name or a black last name.
Yeah.
I've never met like a black dude whose first name is Cooper, but I've met like plenty of white Coopers.
Yeah, no Cooper Johnsons and no Chet Coopers. Like,
yeah. So Whoopi Goldberg.
So Whoopi Goldberg.
So Whoopi Goldberg. Black people and Jews. Black people. I've talked quite a bit about that on here.
Speaking of Hoteps.
So Whoopi Goldberg, she basically was like, it was basically like, I mean, I feel that, the Holocaust was really it wasn't about race because they had white skin and it was white on white crime. And she kind of did like, well, what about black on black crime? She kind of like straddled that line. She tried to straddle that line. And then she got suspended from The View for 2 weeks. And which, kind of sounds nice.
Was it a thing like we're in baseball where if you appeal the suspension, you still get to play until they have a verdict? Like,
no, it's network TV.
She could be gone for 2 weeks, but she's here now.
So Whoopi Goldberg with all that shit, right?
Yeah.
I have a thing when it's like black people, because my thing is like stay out of hood business. Because it's certain shit I just don't like when white people speak on.
Yeah. Like,
I don't like when white people speak on, like just some nigga shit,
Yeah. Yeah, I saw a TikTok. It was a white woman who was like, duet this and let me know what you think the biggest problem in the black community is right now. It was like, yo, what the fuck are you? Literally you. What are you talking about? Yeah, there's definitely, there's shit you just gotta stay out of because it's not your bag.
Like, I have things I just don't cover. Like, I don't talk about gay people because I don't really have any gay people in my life, for real. Like comedians, but it's like, they really like, because I think about the way the gay people are in my life. And like if a white person's like, no, I have black comedians. Yeah, I see him. Like we talk. It's like, y'all ain't really friends.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So it's like, do I have gay colleagues and I'm cool with, but I wouldn't say I have like gay friends for real. So I don't talk about gay people. I will talk about Mexicans though, a lot.
Right.
And Jews and it's like they're in my life.
Right.
So like with black people, like I remember I was on stage one time, and this is in Oakland for like context, so you know some real annoying shit happened. And I'm on stage, and somebody just yells out. It had nothing to do with what I was saying. Somebody yells out, "Fuck Israel, man!" And then I was like, "Oh no, nigga, I'm trying to have a career in entertainment. Let's not say that, nigga." And then I go to my act and move on.
This is a Netanyahu friendly environment.
But I'm like, okay, Israel and Palestine. I'm like, do niggas really have enough? Like, should we be talking about Israel and Palestine?
No,
exactly.
It's not, like I said, it's not our bag. Like,
it's not.
But that's the thing when you're like Whoopi Goldberg and you're on a show where it's just the point is to never shut the fuck up. Much like this podcast.
So Matt, what's the show about? I'd like to see you explain like women's talk shows. And just see like how much trouble we can get in.
Oh yeah, I mean, see that's the thing is you put me in the position where I'm speaking on the thing I don't know. That's when people get really mad because like, hey, he's the one who's supposed to know when to shut up. But yeah, that's the thing about being on a talk show, being like mega super rich and like attitude. You just think that I know what to say about this thing, and it's like no, you don't. You just like you said, stay out of that business. It's not something for you to speak on, yeah, so 2 weeks, sure. Seems like a fair suspension. Missed the All-Star game.
So I'm gonna get a little messy now. There's a thing I see with blacks and Jews where one. By the way, I'm gonna say this. Do you think Jewish people are on the sensitive side? Because I think Jews, like that's the one religion, ethnicity where if you talk about like you just can, they're like, no, that is rooted in anti-Semitism. No, if you just imply that we're a certain kind of way with money, that's no. And another thing, like it's.
Well, I think it's something because I don't know. I haven't seen a situation where someone has said that where I'm like, all right, that's not accurate or what. I've always been of the position of if somebody who, by the way, I'm not Jewish. I know that 100 people watching this right now are like, wait, isn't he? No, I'm not.
That's black. Stop asking me.
I've always taken the position of if somebody from a group that I'm not a part of is telling me that something that is happening is problematic, it's not my place to tell them that it's not. Be that related to anti-Semitism, racism related to other groups, homophobia, transphobia. I'm like, yo, if the people who are actually in this shit have a problem with it, then there's a problem.
That's facts.
It's, our entire history as like black people in America is predicated on the idea of us presenting white people with like, yo, this is fucked up what you're doing, and them acting like they know better than us. So I never want to do that to another group of people. So if something seems innocuous to me and it gets brought up like, yo, that's problematic, I'm like, cool, thanks for letting me know. I don't like to push back because it's like I know plenty of situations where I've pushed back on some racial shit with white people, and they're no, well, I was just joking, or no, what I meant was, and it's like no, motherfucker,
and they get louder too.
Yeah. It's like, no, this is like, I'm telling you as the person who this is about or relates to, like how this is looking and how this feels. Like you gotta take, I guess, people's feelings into account. So yeah, I'm always on this. I defer to the group that it affects.
So will you indulge me on this though?
Sure.
Black and Jewish thing. So I have a friend named Jacob who's grew up in the 80s in the Bronx, and he grew up in like a Irish Puerto Rican neighborhood.
Elite Air Force One collection, I'm sure.
Speaking of that, he's in this like Facebook group where he like reminisces about like old 80s, early 90s New York.
Yeah.
And he's in this one Facebook group, and this one black dude commented, does anybody remember Jew Man? And Jew Man was a guy. He called himself Jew Man. Everybody else called him Jew Man. And he had like the hookup on Air Force Ones and the Puma shell toes and whatever them niggas was rocking. And it was like, yeah, and then we go to Jew Man's store. And then like a handful of like older white Jews are kind of like, this is anti-Semitic. If we called him Afro Man or something like that. And then they're like, but it's like, but he called himself Jew Man.
There is an Afro Man.
Oh, that's fact. Yeah. Nappy boy, I don't know. So like,
I was gonna sell some shoes.
But so like the thing Jacob said to me, he was like, I mean, there's a thing where Jews act like if anybody speaks anything about us, it's like it just cannot be done. Whereas everybody does publicly say things about other races, and it can be well received or not. But with Jews, we do have a thing where we act like it is just the end all. Be like if you just say anything, like yeah, Jews be like they whine a lot, like it's.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't.
You don't want to weigh in on that one?
I can't rightfully. I just feel.
Okay.
I just can't. If someone's like, "Yo, that's the line," and it's like, "All right, that's the line." It's like, I mean, look at the history. It's like how much bullshit have Jewish people been blamed for in the past?
A lot.
Rats were going out killing people in the medieval ages. Like, they're like, oh, maybe it's because we don't wash our hands, or maybe because that guy was a yarmulke, and they went, It's like it's a crazy history, but yeah. I mean, Cornell West has some interesting thoughts on the relationship between like Black and Jewish people specifically, because there was for a long period of time a coexistence there. But yeah, it's like even if in my head I'm like, yo, I think that you're like thinking about this a little too hard. It's like, you have every right to think about it too hard.
But that's what Jews do. Jews are thinkers. Like they.
Oh, we need to move off of this so bad. Oh my god.
No, I mean that is a compliment, because it's like a lot of they shit is based in arguing different points. Like they argue about death. They argue about Brandon is making the motion. I'm digging my own grave right now.
We walked in here like, yo, we gotta get this back up and like going frequently, and we're one episode in.
I'm saying a lot of their shit is based like in Judaism. It's like because like with Christianity, Catholicism, it's like, oh, this is the religion, but they will actually argue different or debate different points about like, oh, you can interpret it as this, but then some you take it like this. Oh, well, I'm not Orthodox and I do this. And I'm saying like they, that's why they lawyers is what I'm saying. It's not because like, they control the banks, and they do not control the banks. I'm just saying it's like when you.
There are two universal.
All right, Black people, we musical, for example. All right, let me. Oh yeah, like I'm a nigga. Trying to clean it up.
There are two universal truths.
I'm saying for us
that we have learned in this podcast.
All right, what are the two universal truths before I clean this up?
Women be shopping, Jews be thinking.
I'm saying the reason Black people, we so musical, we comedians, we entertainers, is because during slavery, we would send messages to each other through song. Like, wait in the water. Like, all right, nigga, we escaping the night. Like, we would send messages. So, in the church, and of course, that's the reason. Now, look at us.
That we're here.
Trying to make it.
Look at us now.
Yeah, so I'm just saying it's tradition.
But that's also us. We know that it's not for us to say about the if we had a Jewish colleague here who was like, well, Black people like sing songs and slavery.
You don't think I'd be like, no, you're right. Like, you don't think I would like co-sign that?
Maybe, but with the fervor and volume with which we were proclaiming these things right now, methinks.
I thinks Lyall's getting us in trouble right now, sus.
Methinks Lyall protests too much.
I do be. All right, so let's move on to somebody else who fucked up instead of me now. Awkwafina.
Oh boy. We're going from one complicated ethnic relationship between Jewish and Black people to another equally as complicated one between Asians and Black people.
All I
We're
know
really-
is Howard Stern has said nigger a million times on his radio show, and then now he gets to act like he's deep and host American Idol or whatever the fuck. Like, so I'm just saying, like,
true.
I should have a second life too.
True. Life after death.
Life after Coon.
Life after Coon.
So Awkwafina and Brandon didn't know. So like, a lot of black people don't know who Awkwafina is if you're not like clued into
Yeah, it's like
content.
Yeah, what
entertainment.
radar could that possibly be on
Yeah.
for so many of us?
Yeah, like Brandon's not supposed to like. Nigga does karate.
Why
Like,
people aren't going out to see Ocean's 8? Like, we're not. Yeah, Jennifer Lopez, but like, who gives a shit? Like, you know?
I watch her movies on mute.
Yeah. There you go.
Anyway, so Awkwafina, she had a thing. Matt had the thing. Well, I mean, we don't have to repeat it, but for context, Awkwafina is Asian from Queens, and she came out and she's like a rap. Like, oh, everybody's a rapper, but they're not a rapper because rap songs are like a minute and 50 seconds now.
Yep.
And she's that. I guess she's a comedian. I don't know her to do stand up, but she probably did. Actress. She was in like a Marvel movie where she was in Asian Black Panther.
It really was.
It was Asian Black Panther.
Yeah, it was. Absolutely was. Yeah, I mean, you know, that's with her, and again, because
but for context,
yeah,
real quick.
I'm sure
Blackston.
Yes.
She got on basically doing Jack and Black vocals.
Yeah.
And one thing I saw that would kind of go around on social media, because everybody's kind of, they got their little hot takes that they kind of remix. The thing was like, when Tiffany Haddish does it, it's ghetto. But when Awkwafina does it, it's, even though Tiffany Haddish is speaking how she really speaks.
Mm-hmm.
And for context, the neighborhood that Awkwafina is from in Queens isn't like really a black neighborhood.
Yeah.
Which is also why I don't fuck with Action Bronson, because like he tossed like Ghostface Killer, but it's like, come on, you
Go warm up the banana.
Yeah. Yo, this is real delicious. We making this right. Oh, nigga, it's too fucking. Yo, Action Bronson is. He's a baklava head. Like, what is he? Because I feel like he's a white pudding head.
Yeah. Action Bronson is absolutely a white pudding head.
Okay. So anyway, Awkwafina, she got nominated for NAACP award. And people.
Wait, did she?
Yes.
Oh, shit.
That's how this shit came to be. Like, that's why people talk about it again.
I mean, yeah, if we're talking about the advancement of colored people, I think doing a black scent to get put on. I do not think that W.E.B. Du Bois died for this. Not that the man was assassinated. I'm pretty sure he died of natural causes, but
I feel like Brown right now. I'm like, I was only on the first page of that. I can't wait. So Awkwafina, she come like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? And then like she gets the more serious roles and she's in the Marvel movie and she's just speaking like this.
Yeah. The Chris Tuckerisms go away.
Yeah. So, and me and Matt, like, as people that grew up in the Bay Area, we are very familiar with Asians that think they're niggas.
Yeah.
It's like, Filipinos, it's like
Filipinos and Samoans say the N-word more than any ethnic group.
I know, and they look like they should be gathering coconuts, but here they are, like, thinking like me and Brandon, like Long Beach, right? Like, it's Cambodian Crips in Long Beach, and like it don't feel. It's like, but are they though? Oh, like skin complexion. Yeah, okay. Wait, are you mic'd? Okay, all right.
We'll add text if we need to.
All right. Well, we'll see about that, but. So her doing that. So then she released a statement on Twitter. What did she say? Because you just like kind of.
And it was just a long,
not an apology.
Not an apology. Just a long diatribe of trying to walk through. Growing up in Queens, I was exposed to many a group of people and many a dialect, and the conversations around vernacular, specifically AAVE, are so complicated and have so much to be worked through. All I know is that I am 100% committed to advancing the voices of Black people and it's just we live in a. It's funny because we live in a society where everything is out there, and it's so easy to get caught in 4K. But no one's willing to just eat an L. Everyone is Russell Westbrook right now, where it's just come off the fucking bench
Stop dressing like a weirdo.
Lead the second unit, and it'll be fine. Everyone wants to be the superstar MVP in their heads. It's like people are complicated. People fuck up. People say fucked up things, and sometimes it's surprising, sometimes it's not. But I have a hell of a lot more respect for somebody who's like, yeah, I said some stupid shit, or yeah, I was being a dipshit and was dumb and or was acting in a way that I should never, was being corny, and I should have done that shit. And yeah, I got famous off it, and now I kind of get to reap the benefits of it and kind of abandon it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that shit is embarrassing. You know, you can, if someone was like, if she was just like, yeah, it's embarrassing that I did that shit, and I shouldn't have done it, but here we are. I'm not asking anybody to give up their money that they made.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like, just say like, yeah, it was stupid. Like, yeah, I don't talk like that, so I shouldn't have talked like that for gain.
Do you think Awkwafina says nigga?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Absolutely. Of course she did.
Like, as somebody that says nigga a lot, I can tell when somebody says nigga. Like, I'm gonna say,
as someone who doesn't say it a lot,
yeah.
I can tell.
There was like one time
we're genetically equipped.
There was one time Matt said nigga, and it was like the funniest thing. We was in Santa Barbara. We got done performing at UCSB. And this is like, because you and me, like, I'd be like trolling around for pussy. Then like I turned like 26. I'm like, I feel like I should have a clipboard if I'm gonna be walking around UCSB. I'm like, let's get to State Street. Like, this doesn't feel right. So me and Matt, we get to we're on State Street, and then we're with this one comedian, Coon, Terrence Washington, and
shout
out Terrence Washington.
Shout out Dad.
Yeah, he kept saying, now, Matt, I look at you as my son. I have a high yellow biracial mixed black child. Because he's like one of them Southern dudes where he like double explains shit.
Right.
He's like, and Matt, you are like my son. And then Matt just kind of like, I have a dad, nigga. that was when Matt said nigga, though. So
right. Well, every time I even think about saying the word, I just imagine my father looking at me like, you could not say the fucking word. Just like, you know, because the environments I grew up on, it was like, my dad was never like, oh, you look too white to say the N-word. It was, if you or your brother say it, it's going to enable all these dumb Midwestern white kids are going to think that they can say it too. And then
it's about space.
Yeah, and then you're gonna have to. It's like, yeah, if I'm just like hanging out with like, you know, my fucking dad and my brother, whatever. Yeah, it's like we'll let it fly or whatever. But it's like, yeah, in the public discourse, it was always like, yeah, don't keep it on low key. Don't play 50 Cent around these kids.
Well, like me, like I don't. That's why I don't say if somebody says nigga a lot. I don't, unless I'm on stage and it's in a entertainer capacity. Mm-hmm. I don't say nigga around people that I don't really like, if that are not black. Like, I have to really fuck with you because I'm like, I can say nigga casually around you, and I know you're not gonna like fucking slip up or kind of be like,
yeah, you
call
gotta
me a nignog or something.
Exactly. It's like you gotta say, if you're gonna, you gotta pick your spots and use it around people that are like aren't gonna think that there's like they're not gonna take it as like a boost to their credibility if you say, you know, where it's just like. Yeah, rocking with Mark, because Mark is rocking with us. TikTok, all that shit.
What was that Mumbledore? I'm
just you took my line. You took my line.
I did.
Fucking Mumbledore, classic. But yeah. Not a word that flies out of my mouth because of parental guilt.
But the time Matt did say it, we was in Santa Barbara.
Yeah.
We was at the bar, and Matt said, "Dude, I want like the most like nigger drink possible."
I did not hard R. I did not.
I mean, I'm not gonna say you did.
I didn't hard R, but I also didn't soft A.
You didn't soft A, like niggar, like it was,
like I'm in Othello.
Yeah, I would like the most niggar drink,
the most theatrical. And that's the other reason why it doesn't come out of my mouth fucking naturally.
And then we got like a Hennessy and Coke that he didn't finish.
It was fun.
I was so fucking disappointed.
Yeah. The Henny does not. Maybe I'll have to revisit now, but yeah, 19-year-old Matt could not handle.
He was at least 22.
Was it after I graduated?
Yeah.
Oh shit! Wow.
No, and I remember because I
That's
was
embarrassing.
I was walking around, and then you texted me, "I see you, you black fuck." You messaged me that.
Oh yeah, we were walking around the street. Yeah, because you were in town, so I followed. Okay. Wait, no. I was still in school. I was still in school that time. Yeah, because it was when we were walking around State Street with Terrence and then like my little group of friends, right?
No. Like you came back, and then it was with Laughology, and you was big dicking them. Like you were like, "All right, I just got to run this shit." And I was like, "Oh, okay. I didn't know, Matt."
Yeah. That was right at that was the year after.
That was the first time I seen you like really show your balls before.
Yeah, it's like
we don't pause, we press play around here.
Yeah, it's every once in a while. Yeah, I just have to like be like, all right, this is how this shit is gonna work.
Yeah,
show these young cats how it's done.
So
gotta pack out this lecture hall.
So speaking of Awkwafina, though, Awkwafina is a good example. You know, I like keep like a racist tally.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
as we all.
Every white rapper has fucked up at some point. Mm-hmm. Eminem with like the nigga tape, where he's hard R-ing it.
Yeah.
And then there was a line where there was with the Lord Jamar where he's like, "Go fetch me the remote," and then Lord Jamar gets on Vlad TV and he's like, and Lord Jamar is like triple OG Hotep, right? And he's like, if you think about the connotation of "fetch me the remote," and Vlad just stay like, I see. And so I'm like, all right, that's a little thing where I was somewhat. I feel like. Do you think, like, by the way, like, when white rappers are in beats with black rappers, how careful do you think they have to be?
Very careful. I think if you're in you got to treat it like a 9 to 5. You got to treat it like a real job, man. Gotta follow the company policies.
Action Bronson, you got tapes of him saying nigga.
Oh, of course. I mean, again, in the jumping back to Joe Rogan, are we surprised? I mean, you take one look at the guy and you're like, yeah, that guy's dropped a couple of those in his time.
Asher Roth, one of Will's favorite white rappers. There's no need for me to say that. Asher Roth, he tweeted, he tweeted, and this is back when like Twitter was fun and you could just say whatever. He tweeted, "Performing at Rutgers tonight. Hope some nappy-headed hoes come through."
Remember. Rest in peace, Don Imus.
You're the only father that I ever knew.
Well, even in our field, even Gary Owen got in a shit ton of trouble after
the Michael Blackson thing with his wife.
No, this was it's the goofiest reason. After Dame Lillard sent the Thunder home on that buzzer beater, Gary Owen tweeted that the coach of the Portland Trailblazers should be allowed to use the N-word when talking about that moment. Like, that N-word hit that shot. And everyone was like, yo, like, you're our guy. But, like, what the fuck? Like, do you not want to be our guy anymore? Like,
do you see the video of Michael? It's, like, really cringe. It's his black, because him and Michael Blackson had like it was fake, real kind of like, you know, friendly comedian internet beef. Mm-hmm. And then he was like wearing sunglasses with his black wife, and he's like, "Yeah, I can't say the word, but guess what? My wife can. Hey, Michael, you a bitch ass." And she goes, "Nigga," and I'm like, she cooning for the white man.
Yeah, that's embarrassing.
But I blame black people with all this like, "Oh, you invited to the cookout." It's like, no, nigga.
Yeah, nobody
can be invited to the cookout.
Yeah, there's no cookout, there's no invitation. Just fucking and the more that the white people who acknowledge that there is no such thing as a cookout are the best white people. Rick Rubin would never say I'm invited to the cookout. You know what I mean? And he's like the most down ass white dude who's ever lived.
Yeah, but that's because Rick Rubin was probably looking for like papayas and meditation. He's like, the cookout is in your heart. Listen to the cookout of the music in your soul. But honestly, I think that's black people Stockholm syndrome shit. Where it's like we just like way too eager to just have motherfuckers. Like, we overshare our culture. I'm saying.
I think that's her. Yeah, everyone wants everyone wants heroes in different spaces. The Great White Hope is not exclusive to white people.
I mean, I just see
Black people like Larry Bird.
I mean, Luke is the best white player I've ever seen. I'm just at basketball, like the eye test.
Serbs don't count.
Yeah.
Different type of white person.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. I guess we gotta go American. But no, so it's like there's this thing I noticed where it's like you notice like only black people like you feel the need to say shit like we like open it to everybody. It doesn't matter your or the only people that say they open that list every race is black people when they want to let motherfuckers know they're inclusive, and white people when they fuck up. Well, I don't care if you're purple. Yeah. Purple motherfuckers don't exist. What you saying, nigga? So
yeah. Oh, that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes we make too much of an effort to congratulate white people on doing the right thing. I think that's totally fair.
I remember one time me and Ralph was at a house party way back in the day, and this white boy like he hit some like 2-step and niggas was going crazy. It was just like, come on, niggas, the niggas just dancing.
I'm gonna be. I will always show out for a white dude.
What you mean?
Cut a rug.
Okay.
That's like the one that's like, all right.
Like a white dude can really dance, you'll fuck with it?
Yeah. I'll go crazy for that. I don't give a shit if you can dunk. I don't give a shit if you fucking, know some James Brown deep cuts or whatever. But if you can dance to that James Brown deep cut like James Brown, it's like, all right, I'll get hyped for that.
Can you look at a white girl and be like, you look like you dance like a inner city school whore?
There's no such thing.
That's what?
White dudes can dance like black people, white women can dance.
You've never seen a white girl like really twerk and shake her ass? Like where she just like grabs onto a wall and then just
America? No.
Oh man, we got
Eastern European? I mean, famously, I've never been to a strip club.
Wait, what?
We've talked about this.
You've never been to a strip club?
I've never been to a strip club.
You scared of germs or something? Like why?
I mean, now.
Okay, yeah. How come you've never been to a strip club, man? This is
because you never took me. You promised.
I try to like just take you to the nightclub and you'd be like, I gotta wake up early like a little pussy. Like, and I'm like, what you gotta wake up early for? Like,
motherfuckers got day jobs.
They're not on Sundays. Don't try to not having a day job shame me, nigga. Like, you niggas be doing it. Well, I ain't got a day job. Anyway.
Oh boy.
I would try to take you out on Fridays and Saturdays. You would always be like, well, I could stay for one, but then I gotta go. I remember, nigga. Like anyways, no, yeah.
I think it's a Catholic guilt thing.
Guilt about what?
Catholic guilt. Just like don't like sex is bad. Enjoying sex is bad. That sort of thing.
You fucked up by not going to a strip club when like you was young and could be filthy. Cause like remember when you was young, you go to a strip club and wear like basketball shorts. It's like he's 22, he's 19, they don't know any better, and it's like you could, but now you're too old to go to the strip club wearing basketball shorts.
Well, listen,
missed out on it. Man.
I don't think that was ever an ambition of mine.
It should have been like it's. Well, then Ralph said, you probably don't remember saying this. Ralph said like, what you got to do is pull up to the strip clubs wearing some slacks, no draws, and a button up. You look classy, and you get a better dance.
Words to live by. Words to live by. Wow. Go commando to the strip club. Talk about business casual. Jesus.
Some of my best years, Ralph, you got a mic that there? You can talk out. Never mind, I'll just talk for you. So, some of my best years as a young man was Will and Ralph would take me to the strip club. Like, I wasn't even doing comedy at that point. I was like 19 years old. And I remember we was having because like we started making out with the stripper. Like, oh, nigga, you got a stripper's number? And like we would, like, I realized there's something wrong with us because like it got like the times we would stay in the nightclub would get shorter and shorter. And like, we should just hit Spearmint Rhino right now, man. It's like, what's really gonna happen here? And man, Spearmint Rhino's good times, man.
Maybe in another life.
Nigga, don't be coy now. See, like,
Talk about the fun part. I'll walk into a strip club now, I guess. I don't know.
you should, man. Well, I don't know. I've never been to a COVID strip club.
I'm sure they don't care.
Well, of course not. Like, I don't want to get a dance with a mask on either, though. Like,
That's why I should have tried harder to make it in the league. I could have gone to Magic City, and that could have been the whole thing.
you could have, man. Like, I don't know. Strip clubs are needed because, like, men need a place we can just be nasty.
other than 4chan.
Yeah, well, okay, like black men can be nasty. Like, you know, like you just want to.
Totally.
Yeah.
No, I got you.
All right, let's talk about race so we can get Matt talking again. It's like, why can you talk about bitches and strip clubs, matches? Like,
oh boy,
Matt's like, I was in bed eating milk and cookies. Like, I
do like milk and cookies in bed.
You seem like a milk and cookies ass nigga.
I like me some Chips Ahoy, dude. Some Chips Ahoy.
All right.
Well, I think we've.
Yeah, I'm trying to find right way to close out because like now I just feel too filthy because like there's this thing where it's like when you be like want to talk about like ass with your boy and your boy's just like, oh, I don't know. Then and then it's like, nigga, don't make me feel more dirty because you ain't gonna participate.
Well, that's
in
why
this
people
filth.
listen to this because they're like, all right, fucking Matt Duckett Esquire PhD is gonna. Let's see how much of the stick Lyall can remove from Matt's ass in this episode.
That's what I be trying to do. I be trying to remove a little bit of stick in your ass.
That's the entire premise of this podcast.
I gotta go up in Matt's asshole. You know, do some. Because black men get your prostate checked. You know, and it's different ways. It's like sometimes you need to get a little prostate check, and sometimes you need like a.
You need that colonoscopy, dog.
Yeah.
Oh fuck! That's perfect. That's the analogy.
All right. I'm trying to find like the right way to walk out of this. I fucked up a little bit probably. Some of this probably isn't gonna sound too cool when I hear it back, but you know, look, I try to entertain y'all. Don't judge me. I'm just a young man trying to make something of himself. This has been a Let's Unpack That podcast. Thank you, Matt Duckett. Thank you, Podexa.
The complexities around AAV. you just tweet her statement for yourself.
Shout out Brandon. Shout out DJ Illinois. We out.